Hey, I'm Taria.
Hey, I'm Josh.
And welcome to another Buzztacular episode of the Social B Show.
And I'm Sydney B. We're kicking the show off with advice for all millennials. Later, we'll be discussing degrees and babies. And finally, we'll wrap up the show with some B commands. But before we can get into today's topic, let's cover some hot topics on The Sting. Millennials, have you ever thought the real obstacle to landing that great job is you? Many big-name companies are looking to hire millennials, but they're struggling to find their good candidates. And it's not because candidates lack the necessary skills, but because they lack the first things needed to know in order to get hired. Those simple mistakes are disqualifying candidates from getting the job. We've rounded up a few tips to help you land that job. First off, be sure to complete the application. I know it might sound something so taboo, but many people don't do it, so make sure you do. Customize your cover letters, proofread all materials, review various interviewing questions, and practice the answers out loud. And be sure to send a thank you note immediately following the interview. So, take these tips and ace that interview. Did Tupac Shakur warn us about Trump back in 1992? MTV released a 2-decade-old interview with rap legend Tupac Shakur, which had some pretty interesting thoughts coming from the rapper himself to say about Republican candidate Donald Trump and his greed. In an interview about inequality and more, Shakur talks about working towards success and is quoted with saying, "You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Push, push, push. Step, step, step. Crush, crush, crush." That's how it all is. It's like nobody ever stops. When the reporter went on to ask about how Pac earned his money, he went on to mention that we here in America, we have too much money. No one should be hitting the lotto for $36 million while there are people starving in the streets. Was Tupac on to something? Tweet us your thoughts and let us know. And the time has come, and I'm pretty sure that so many of you thought that it would never come, or that you would even see the day. An epic Disney movie marathon full of childhood classics is coming to a TV near you. Prepare your favorite movie marathon popcorn and snacks because a Disney Channel original movie marathon is premiering this May. The network announced that it will air 51 of its most popular original movies throughout the Memorial Day weekend in honor of the summer release of its 100th original film, Adventures in Babysitting. Classics like The Proud Family movie, Hey, High School Musical, We're All in This Together, Johnny Tsunami, and much more are on the lineup to be shown. So take that weekend off to enjoy binge watching your favorites. Now, it's time to toss to Mike and Drew of the Mike and Drew Sports Show to hear your latest in sports news.
It's Drew here with MJ from the Mike and Drew Sports Show, bringing you sports at another level. And today we're going to dive into the playoffs.
We're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs and the biggest surprises we've seen so far. The first round of the NBA playoffs is closing out, and there's been a number of different surprises and a few injuries. So what's your thoughts on the playoffs so far, Drew?
Well, right now, it's been kind of a little bit of a letdown compared to what the season was. I mean, we just coming off one of the best NBA seasons.
Right.
And as far as we get when we're talking about the playoffs, it's not too many competitive series. I mean, you got the Raptors and the Pacers, but neither one of them are not going to go anywhere.
Right.
And besides Mavericks getting a dub on the Thunder, it's not too many competitive series. It's like all blowouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. You know, it's kind of been a disappointment. I think most of the games, the series are going to be a sweep. You know, we got the Pistons. They're giving a run for the Cavs, even though they're the 8th seed. Right. But, you know, they're still giving them a little competition. And like you said, the Raptors and the Pacers it's kind of boring. They don't even really even nationally televise that. So, I mean, it's been kind of a disappointment, but I'm really getting ready for the second round, really.
Right, especially since Isaiah Thomas got injured, and then we're dealing with the Batum injury.
Right.
Those are two big pieces in two series that can go either way. And with those two being out, just like, like you said, the team's morale is broken, then it's like the advantage really shifts into the other team's advantage. So it's looking like it's going to be a blowout, a few blowouts.
Let me ask you this. What do you think is the most competitive series so far?
I would have to say it's between the Clippers Trailblazers series and the Pistons Cavs series. If I had to pick one, I would go with Pistons Cleveland, just because the Pistons were in both games all the way through, especially the first one.
Right.
I mean, it's evident they're doing something with LeBron. He's been on fire, but he's talking trash. Like, he doesn't usually do that this early.
In the playoffs.
Right, not this early. So I go with that series. Stan Van Gundy, he got the team playing hard every night. So they do look like they have a small chance, especially if we can get both home games. But that's why I'm leaning toward the Pistons and the Cavs. What you think?
You already know I gotta roll with the Detroit basketball. Yeah, so it's been a good series so far, man. We've been giving them a run for their money within the first 3 quarters. And like the fourth quarter, LeBron has seemed, just to be the veteran and just take over the game and kind of bullied us. But we've been playing pretty good. So hopefully this third game comes up. We back home in Detroit, and hopefully we can get the dub. Because if we don't, I think the series might be pretty much over.
Right, we would have got one of those first games, especially that first one. It'd be a completely different series. But with us just giving up both of those games, especially when we had a chance to win, it's going to be tough for the Pistons to pull the series out, let alone get 2 games. So I know they're gonna win one. I'm pretty sure they're gonna win one.
Yeah, we gotta win one.
Right, but I don't know about getting 2. But what's your surprise team this playoffs? You got a couple teams like the Dallas Mavericks. They got a dub on OKC. I didn't even expect that, especially at home. So what's your surprise team?
It'll maybe be the Dallas Mavericks, but I'm gonna have to go with the Miami Heat, man. They've been playing better. They've been probably the best team in the East since the All-Star break, and Dwayne Wade, he's been healthy, he's been playing better. His knees haven't been messing up as much.
Right, yeah, he's looking real healthy.
Right, then you got Hassan Whiteside in the paint. He's averaging in the playoffs already 20 points, 12 rebounds, and shooting 90% from the field goal range. So I mean, that's crazy, and they're already up 2-0. So I think they might end up meeting the Cavs in the Eastern Conference, and who knows? Bosh might be able to come back and then give him another piece. So that gotta be my surprise team.
I don't think Bosh I think he's out for the playoffs, but even without Bosh, Hassan shooting 90%. That's amazing.
Right.
And that is a big surprise. I didn't expect to get this much out of him, and especially in the first round. But for my surprise team, I'm going to go with the Pistons again. Because I didn't expect them to fight this hard against Cleveland. Like, even though the games both went Cleveland way, the Pistons had their hands in both outcomes.
Right.
Like, it wasn't just the Cavs running away with this game, running away with this game. The Pistons really had their hands on it to the point that a few less mistakes, they could have actually came up with the dub. So I'm gonna go with the Pistons for the surprise team.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, that's all we have for y'all today. Just continue to follow us on Twitter, Instagram at Mike and Drew Sports, and follow our website at mikeanddrewsports.com. And thank you, Sydney, for everything. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Well, before we can wrap up anything on this thing, we must talk about the Buzzkill of the Week. So, would you turn yourself in after stealing something 27 years ago? A Florida man returned back to his hometown in Connecticut to turn himself in for stealing a color television back in 1989. Randy Lacone was booked on third-degree larceny charges after his confession, according to police. That theft took place at the Norwalk Jewish Center on April 26, 1989. The center has closed since then. Lacone was released with no bail and a promise to appear back in court in April. Well, that's all the time that we have for you tonight on this thing. We have to take a very quick break, but before we go, once we return, we'll be speaking with some pretty interesting women about degrees and babies. Stay tuned. Woo! Woo! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! There is no decision that we can make that doesn't come with some sort of balance or sacrifice. Joining me now for Tea and Honey are Lachey Simmons, Sharon Gregory, and Treasure Shepherd. Welcome to the Beehive.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, so ladies, are you ready to kick it off?
We are.
Yes. Okay, so this is degrees and babies, and this is a very, very interesting topic because of our current society now that we're living in. And ladies, just let me ask you, what are your thoughts on the society that we live in and, the current conditions as far as people becoming young parents at an early age?
Well, to start, of course, I will say that the current condition I believe it's really sad considering, what we did in the past, how I came up, where I came from. Because a lot of times now, there's a lot of children, there's a lot of children having children, and there's a lot of young parents. Mm-hmm. When I was coming up, you had family. It was more family oriented. It was more together. Everybody raised your child. So it was like that saying, a whole village. Mm-hmm. It takes a village to raise a child. And so today you don't get that. You don't see that much. You see a lot of parents that's even if not as young as their kids, coming up with their child. Mm-hmm. And so it's very different right now. Very different.
I agree. I think it's different, but I have both. So babies and degrees. Yeah. And I think that the thing to always keep in mind is that if you're not in that position, mm-hmm. Having a baby and then getting a degree, it's hard to grasp. I think it's different, but I don't think it's sad. I think it's actually a great thing because you have a little piece of motivation with you all the time when you're trying to do something. And I think that's what kind of sets you apart if you take that as motivation. But like you said, coming up is way different now. Babies having babies, but as long as you take care of your baby, I mean, whatever you do is what you do, as long as you do it well. Yeah. So that's my good.
Well, I just want to give an applaud to Shay here because she has 2 kids and graduated in 5 years with an advertising promotion degree. So go on ahead, girl, because I'll probably be like, I don't know what to do. But I like what both of you all said because it's not necessarily sad, but like in my mom's time or her time, like it was, okay, you have to get married, you have to do this, take these steps. And most people didn't go to school. It was, you have to sit down and take care of your baby. But now it's so different. Like, women are so powerful. But I can say that shows like Teen Mom and 16 and Pregnant, once it first started, I looked at it as, okay, they're trying to show how it's hard being a mom, a teen mom at 16, but now I feel like it's so glorified, like, hey, get pregnant and get on Teen Mom. And it's just like, it should be showing the steps to know it's hard. And now if you watch it now, I still watch it, it's becoming more of a, it's easy because you get money from the show. Like it's not as hard anymore. They're showing it as, it's easy. But I do think that anyone can do it, but then everyone who has a baby at a young age, like I know a lot of people who've had babies at Shay age at 16 and they were not able to do what she has done at all. Like they were still being a kid because they were a kid. Like I have a sister and she has friends who they're 27 years old and their babies probably wouldn't even know no manners that her 2 kids have. So some people do not use their children as that step to, okay, I have to get out here and get it and really do it the right way. Like most people, and then most young moms are really into materialistic things. And that's what in our generation is bad because they think, I want to grind so I can get my baby a Gucci shirt. And instead, no, your baby needs a college fund, your baby needs food and clothes and all of that. It's more than that. So.
But that has to do with the upbringing of
those
individuals. That's what that brings it into because at that point, their mom was young, probably having them. So if you have a spiral of generations of young moms who just don't have the right, mindset. My mom is a bit older. She had me when she was a bit older, so I came from a very stable, home and generation and time. Where my grandma was a real grandma, whip the shoe at you, grandma. I'm not gonna be hanging out with you, grandma. So I think that makes a difference as well. And you said the Teen Mom show. I don't think that show is realistic. Like the stuff that they advertise on there, this stuff is not real. No. When you really sit down and you have these children and you really take care of them how you're supposed to take care of them, trust me, I don't want to be on TV shows taking care of my kids how I'm supposed to take care of them because you may not like me after that because you have to tell them, you have to be honest with them, you have to teach them something. And a lot of times what I'm seeing with people my age in my generation that's had kids at 16 and 17, they're not teaching anything. Mm-hmm. Like you said, they're going for materials. They're going for, my baby has Gucci, my baby, has Jordans. And, you can get all those things, but you still have to instill the foundation and the basics in them. You can be as fly as you want to be, but be educated as well. Because somebody can take your Jordan, somebody can take your stuff, but no one can take what you've learned and what you experienced.
And it all goes back to foundation, and upbringing. And just to clarify, you know, even when I said the sad part, it goes back to the teen shows like that. You know, that's the sad portion, to glorify it and make it seem as though it's good, it's okay, you know, it's the happening thing. No, it's not the happening thing if you're going in the wrong direction with it. So just, you know, clarify it.
Okay, so ladies, we're gonna have to speed this up
Okay.
a little bit because we really only got like 2 minutes left. That was just the first question. So Shay, let's take it to you because you did speak about balancing both. How was it balancing 2 little people as well as, and I love to call kids little people, but balancing 2 little people as well as undergrad and college here at Western? How was that?
I mean, when you really look at it, now looking back at it and what I went through, I'm like, dang, that was something amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, my only motive was to survive, you know what I'm saying, to make it. So at the time, I didn't really spend too much time thinking about it, like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, until it was over. And then I really looked at it and I thought to myself, like, whoa, you really did that, you know what I'm saying? You had a good GPA, you had great kids, and, you know, you really did it with them, you know, and no help at all at that. So I think it just depends on the time. And when you really look back at it, what I will say is I think that it's not about me doing what others can't do, it's about me doing what others won't do.
Right.
Essentially, and that's what I really think that it boiled down to. But the balance, I just kept God first and, you know, kept on moving, never quit.
And let's kind of talk about that a bit as far as what the others can't and what they won't do. Because now, Treasure, you mentioned this a bit. You did touch on it. More and more women are staying in school. They're becoming more and more powerful, especially as they do become pregnant. More undergrad women, more women my own age, and I'm only 21. So with that being said, what are your thoughts on that? Because that's such a powerful thing to see. You know, I love seeing the little grad pictures. Mommy did it and mommy did it, because it's showing your child how important education is to start off with.
I mean, my main focus, me personally, like, it shows the kids that, but it also should show that a child should not stop you. You should never make your child a hindrance or a burden to you. That is when you start losing, when you look at them as a burden and not as an opportunity. There are so many more things that I've gotten out of school because I had kids, honestly. And I'm not glorifying and saying that, you know, have a baby because maybe you get more financial aid. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you do have a child, make sure you're utilizing all the resources that you have allotted to you. But that's just me personally. But if you go home with Treasure and go back to what you were saying, it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot, but you just don't quit. Like, that's the number one thing that I always want to give. Don't quit. Just
don't give up. And Sharon, you know, you talked about it. You are from the baby booming generation, pretty much. Do you feel that there are any long-term or short-term negative implications that young parents may come across as they grow and continue on? And any advice that you may be able to give them, since, you know, you came in a time where there were so many people reproducing?
Okay, well, as far as the short-term implications, you know, I would say, especially coming up now, especially, you know, young mothers having babies now, I would just say that the things that I think they are missing out on is the values and the morals. I think they really are not taking the time to stop, you know, and take that opportunity, you know, or take it serious, you know what I'm saying, and not take it as a disadvantage to just be on the show and get, you know, the things that they think they can get out of it. As far as like a long-term implication, I would say that I think that people, or young mothers even more so, should stop and just kind of think about even the values that we came from, you know, where I came from, where I came up in, the foundation, you know, the strength of the family, and go back to that. I think that's a long-term implication that really can benefit, because like we said, I think it's been said several times, it's never too late. It's never too late to go back. It's never too late, even with the mistakes that's been made, it's never too late to stop, look, and think, okay, you know what? It's more to life than this. And I need to stop, think about it, and do it. I need to do this right. Why? Because I need to do this for my children. They're watching me. They're watching me grow. They're watching me in all of my activities and all of my, you know, all the decisions that I make, which are very crucial. And so I think that's the long-term implication. They need to just, you know, step back, take a look, and even as what was said, you know that this is serious, you know what I'm saying? I have a child that I have to raise. I have a child that needs me, and I have a child that needs to know the importance and the difference and what life is really all about. Because it ain't about a Gucci, or a pair of Pradas, you know what I'm saying? So that's the long-term implication.
And ladies, before we can wrap up anything here tonight, tell us, what advice would you give to anyone who may be becoming a new parent straight out of high school, while in college, or maybe just somebody who's single like yourself, but could just be having baby fever?
Well, me personally, I'm not ready for a child. So, I've been putting in things, I'm like, I can't have no baby. Like, I'm not ready. But if I have a baby, I'm going to do it. But I just think about it, like, I have a friend who, she was like, oh, I want to have a baby. And I'm like, you don't even have your degree, and you still been here 6 years doing this. You keep wanting, you pushing to have a baby. You're not married. You don't really have the right things to really sit down and have a baby. So it's like she planned to have a baby. But then I also say that if you can do anything you put your mind to, like Shay is actually an example. I use it to a few people where they like, I've been here 8 years, and I'm like, I know somebody, my roommate cousin got 2 kids and had babies in high school and got a degree. So you can do anything. But I would just say be smart, use contraceptives, because you don't want to look up and say, oh, I'm pregnant, and you have to drop out. And because this girl told me you can have a baby, I just stopped going to school. I'm like, well, I'm not going to stop going to school. She like, well, I had to stop so you could do it too. But I'm like, but I'm not going to do that. So that's it's not going to go down that route. And like my mom, she was one of those moms who raised me with the Gucci, Louis, everything. But she also instilled in me education. Like, she don't play that. It's you about to go to school and you about to get up out of here and you about to do something. It's more than that. So I would just say be smart, and like Shay said, use your resources. Like, if you have a baby, don't try to shut everyone out and say, oh, it's just me and my kids. Like, really use that village to help you and raise that child. Like, use your friends. If your friends are there for you, ask them for help. Like, it's okay to ask for help, and that's what a lot of young moms I think don't get. It's okay to ask for help. They want to say, I've been doing it on my own, I don't have nobody. But it's okay to ask for help. You're young. You're really still a child in the mind. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, I need help. This is hard. It's okay for that.
Okay. And the one thing I would say, the advice that I would give, whatever you do not stop going to school. Do not drop out. Because when you look back, a lot of times people look back over their life and they regret a lot of things. And so the one thing you don't want to do is regret anything. The next thing you don't want is for your child, to look back on you and say, Mommy, why you didn't finish school? Or Mommy, why, you didn't, just do what it is you set out to do or started out to do. So that's the one thing, like, do not quit, especially in this day and age. A lot of things take education, nowadays, before we can get away with getting jobs, we can get away with going places, doing things, but now they want to see that paper. They want to see you have a degree. They want to see that you have education. They want to see something. And for you to just, just say, well, I'll have a baby, I can just drop out of school. Whatever you do, education is key, and it is the foundation to what many people was robbed of, and what was taken away. And so whatever you do, don't quit.
Definitely. And Shay?
To play off that, I think that would be my same advice. And just speaking from experience, things definitely get hard. Things definitely may even seem unbearable. And one time I was actually getting close to graduation. I was talking to my grandma, and I told her I was tired. I work all the time. I go to school all the time. I'm taking care of my babies. I'm tired. And you get to that point where you're physically tired, but my mindset was never, let me quit.
Yeah.
No, because I knew that was a temporary tired. So everyone needs to understand that those things are temporary. Mm-hmm. The struggle when you're going through school with children is temporary. And if you can hold on through that time frame, just know that 10 years from now, you'll say that temporary struggle was nothing. But if I don't, and I go 10 years and I'm still playing the same game, and I'm still in a lifelong struggle, rather than just taking the temporary struggle for now. So after graduating from 4.5 years of being in school, I look back like that was a temporary struggle. I don't have the funds. Temporary. I don't have this. Temporary. So remember that those things are temporary. and look for the long-term goal, what is going to come out in the long run. And I always used to motivate myself, like, what else you going to do? Become another statistic? Is that what you're going to do? Because that doesn't work, right? Either you can be this or you can be that. And if you want to be this, you have to do that. If you want to be this, then yeah, you can go ahead and do that. So I had to figure out, I didn't want to be another statistic, and I knew that all this was temporary.
Very, very, very powerful, ladies. Well, unfortunately, we are all out of time. But before we go to break, I have a tease for the bees. What makes more as you take them? Tell us your answers on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook at The Social Bee Show, and tag it with hashtag tease for the bees. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we'll see what the bee has to say. Stay tuned.
Woo!
Welcome back.
Woo!
In the studio with us today, we have Lachey Simmons, Sharon Gregory, and Treasure Shepherd. And also joining us, we have Mr. Tristan and Miss Camille. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tristan, are you being shy now?
No.
Okay, we're just making sure. So, in honor of our little people tonight being in the studio with us, we are going to take it back to our childhood favorite. And which everyone knows, as Simon says, except we are playing The Bee Says. The rules are very simple. I will say the bee following a command. Once I say The Bee Says, for example, The Bee Says touch your nose, everyone, even these ladies here, must touch their nose. Now, if I throw out a command without saying The Bee Says, and you do it, like pat your head, you're automatically out, okay?
Okay.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Okay, so let's go and give it a little test. you winning? Yes.
No, I'm winning.
You winning?
No, I'm winning.
You're
She
winning.
ready now.
Okay. And how old are you, Camille?
5,
And how old are you, Tristan?
6.
6. Okay.
I beat him on Uno before.
Give me 5. You're not holding back, huh? This is your game. All right, let's go.
She's so serious.
So she's serious. She's not playing with him. So the bee says, pat your head. The bee says, touch your nose. Oh, you don't have to do them together. You can do them individually, one after the other. The bee says, pat your tummy. The bee says, go gobble gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble 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 gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Uh-oh, y'all out. It's okay. That was a little test. You see it. Got you. We're going to try it again. Okay, so the bee says go. Ooh. Ooh. All right, so the bee says get funky with it.
Get funky with it.
Uh-oh. And let's see. The bee says whisper in your neighbor's ear.
Oh, my neighbor.
Uh-oh, look, I must tell some jokes over here, eh? Okay. Hop on one leg. I like that. Look at that. Okay, so we won't tell anybody that you guys are eliminated. Hello. We won't tell nobody. Okay. Who's on the desk? What? It was on the test. Oh, it's on the test.
Knows.
I know. You remember? See, yes, Tristan going far. He doesn't know about to play with nobody. He knows everything. That was a test, right? But you won. I have goodies for you.
Yay!
Are you excited?
Stop.
So, this is yours.
That I knew was my favorite.
Yes. Show us what you have there. You would like to show them. Uh-oh, what's that? What kind of book? It's like Christmas.
Spider-Man.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, yummy.
Yes. Candy.
Hold it up so
Yeah,
that
hold
they
it
can
up so the
see.
camera
Hold it
can
up so
see
everybody
it.
can see.
Yeah.
Like, he like, I'm
I
looking for
would
something
like
specific.
second.
Uh-oh. What is that?
Sucker.
Uh-oh. So they were very restless while they were sitting down in the audience just before the break, but now they have all the goodies that they could have ever asked for. So I would definitely like to say thank you to all of our guests for coming today, and I hope that my little people here enjoyed. Look, not playing no games. I hope that everyone enjoys tonight. That's all the time that we have for you tonight on the Social Bee Show.
But before we go to break, remember that tease that I left you wonderful bumblebees with before the break. It states, what makes more as you make them? Ladies, does anyone have a guess?
Babies.
No!
that wouldn't be right.
No! Okay. So, drum roll. Oh, you have an answer. Maybe. No. We can drum roll.
Drum roll.
Okay, drum roll, please. All right, so the answer is footsteps. What makes more as you take them?
You know what?
You
can
said
tell me
you
what
make
these
them.
be.
I said take the first
played
time.
too much.
You didn't hear that. Okay. Thanks to all who played, tweeted, Instagram, and Snapchatted us at The Social Bee Show. We would like to thank our guests for joining us today. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday at 8 p.m. for The Social Bee Show. And always remember, be honest, be humble, be you. I'm your host, Sydney B. Have a wonderful week.
Woo!